Well, apparently he did not have a clue what he was doing and should have watched this tutorial. What's up and welcome back everybody, it's the Blue Inferno here, and I've decided that I am going to be bringing you guys a video to give you a tutorial on Sea of Thieves. Since Sea of Thieves completely lacks one, it can be a little bit confusing on how to move the ship and exactly what you're trying to do just for those beginners. And because it's also a team game and you have to work together to get things done, it's best if you have a little bit of an idea when you first play the game. You can always play solo, but that's a little bit more challenging. Now, I'm going to be sailing alone just so that my teammate isn't aggravated with me just kind of talking and doing dumb shit with the boat. And I'm going to be doing a lot of dumb shit with the boat and showing you guys how to sail as well. Make sure to read these. The tips in this game are actually handy, and you'll only see one loading screen if all goes well. Because this game is not a game filled with loading screens. You just go around this open world, lots of water, lots of blue, in your boat, and try to get as wealthy as possible. Alright, when it's done loading, you're going to spawn here with this shady looking son of a bitch. And up here you can talk to her, and she's just going to refill your tankard and tell you pretty much nothing. Here is the pirate code, which is pretty much how you should be treating other people. The pirate code is the sea calls to us all, so everybody goes to the ocean. I don't know. Very relevant. The sea unites us as one community, so we're a big community, pirates. Disputes are settled upon the waves. Go out and kill each other because that's the point of the game. We're pirates. Come on. All crewmates are equal. Yeah, don't be a douche. I'll tell you guys a little bit later on in the tutorial how you can be a douche to your team. The crew's bond is sacred. Don't steal from your team. Don't screw each other over. Don't be a jerk. Respect new pirates and their voyage ahead, which is exactly what this is all about, is helping out the new pirates, learn what they're doing. Those who cheat shall be punished. Obviously, don't cheat. So that's about it for in here. You're going to spawn on one of the different outposts. You don't have the ability to bring up a map or anything from your UI, but you're going to spawn probably with a knife and a pistol. I got a fancy sniper rifle. But eventually, you can work your way up to getting fancy guns as well. But they work the same as any other gun, so it's all just to make everybody feel good about themselves and be purty. If you're on PC, is a little bit different from if you're on computer. On computer, I need you to push Q for this wheel and E for this wheel. This wheel brings up my different missions. Q is going to bring up my tools. So, as you can see, I got an eyeglass. I can see out there, that's a galleon. You can really easily tell because they have 3 sails, not 2. And they're about 4 times bigger than a sloop. That means there's probably 2 to 4 guys on there. I don't want to mess with them. Now, how do you get missions? The real question of the day. Missions are kind of important. You also can't crouch in this game, just throwing that out there. What are you supposed to do? As you can see, even if you are playing the game for the first time, it doesn't tell you jack shit. You're just here with the boat, and there's these guys. So, I'll give you the quick rundown. There are 3 different guilds that you can work for, and a bunch of different shops. So this is where you're going to buy stuff to make, as you can see, I got a fancy golden shovel, I got a fancy looking glass, I got all this fancy stuff, a fancy compass. You buy it from this store right here, pretty easy to tell from the picture. Then you can buy your fancy clothes from this guy, and this is how you actually change into them, is by going into the clothing shop, and this will let me change up my outfits. If I want, I can wear a dress. Look at that. Fabulous. And for vanity, this is where you're going to be able to put your eye patches on, your peg legs, and your hooks. And as well as that, you can change up your title. There's also a weapons shop, which I believe is right here. And these crates can be accessed anywhere to go into your armory. Everyone has access to the same weapons. They do the same damage. So you can have a cutlass, pistol, blunderbuss, or sniper rifle. And if you want to, you can also have 2 guns. You don't have to make sure that you have the cutlass. I advise it because you'll run out of ammo, but there you go. So pretty much you can only carry 2 weapons. Any weapon can only have up to 5 ammo at one point in time before you have to hit an ammo crate. And this fine lady in here will sell you fancy, or guy. Is that Wendy? There you go. So let's get into where to get your missions from. The buildings will always look the same, but they will be in different places on the island. So this is where you're going to get skeleton hunting missions. And the lady looks a little bit different inside.
Yes,
you go and you talk to her, browse Order of the Souls offers. And this is where you're going to get quests to hunt down skeletons. You can upgrade your actual rapport with each single one and promote yourself. So you can hunt more and more dangerous skeletons that are worth more and more money. So higher level people will inevitably make more money per mission. But the missions are a lot longer. then this tent that you can see right here is the Treasures Guild. And if you want to go around and do the good old-fashioned X marks the spot, finding treasure hunting, as well as solving riddles to get yourself treasure, do these ones. They're actually really fun. I like them. They're profitable. They're easy. They're nifty. I like them. And it gives you a reason to explore and not be constantly doing violent things. Now, there's one more, and she's going to be on the pier that your boat will spawn at, or on one of the piers, the docks, on the island. She'll always be up and on the left-hand side if you're going to your ship, and on the right-hand side if you're coming back. And this is the Merchants Guild quests. These ones are a little bit more difficult to do because you need to, like, capture chickens and pigs and things, and you have to bring cages with you to be able to put the chickens and pigs inside the cages. Now, right here, this lady sells...
Hello, you. The sea is blue.
Ship customizations. So if you want to get fancy different sails and different things to make your boat look nice, that's where you can go. Now these guys are eyeballing me. And you can choose to be friendly or not. You have a bunch of emotes and stuff. They're looking at me. I'm just going to wave at them. I'm not their enemy. Because I don't have anything for them to steal at this point. If I had a team, I would fight them. But they didn't shoot my boat, so I think we're good to go. So here's my ship. The ship is beautiful. It has, every ship has cannons. Each sloop has 2. Each galleon has 4 on each side, so 8 total. You got cannonballs stored here. You always start with 20 cannonballs in each crate. Make sure you always check both of them when you start thinking you're running out. And as you can see from here, I don't actually have any on me. So if I wanted to shoot the cannon, I'd have to pick up the cannonballs, go over, access the cannon, hold R to load it, and now it's ready to fire. You can tell a cannon is loaded because the fuse sticking out of it. See how this one isn't loaded? And this one is loaded. This one has a fuse. This one does not. Now, if I wanted to be a jerk, I could fight these guys. Venris, but they'll probably just blow up my boat. And I don't really care right now. So, I'll just keep on going with the tutorial. Once you get down into the captain's quarters over here, we've got the map. This is where you're going to plot your courses and decide where you're going to do, what you're going to do, and where you're going to go. You can't access the map anywhere but your captain's quarters on your ship, so you want to mark the place, plan ahead, and keep in mind where you're going. Because if you need to head west for something and you're not paying attention, you can end up going pretty far off course for no apparent reason. Then you're kind of screwed. Alright, further inside your ship, these barrels don't do anything. Very important. No. We've got bananas down in this barrel down here in the sloop. The bananas are just health. They're like health potions that you can eat while you're going. I'm at full health right now, but I can still eat it. You just click to eat it, or use activate on the controller, and that's going to give you your health pack. Over here we got the wood planks. You only start with 15, and you use this to board up your ship whenever it gets exploded a little bit. Here's the brig. In the sloop it's pointless, but if a player sabotages you and corrective action needs to be taken, you can go to the My Crew settings, and it'll show the rest of your crewmates. So I don't have any other crew here, but if I did, everybody can vote to put them into the brig, which will actually be right there. And if overwhelming people vote to put them in the brig, you can put them in and you can let them out when you feel that they've served their time for what they've done. In the bottom here, we've got our equipment chest, vanity chest, and clothing chest. This is just how you change your clothes if you aren't in a port at that point in time. Nobody can actually steal your stuff out of it. If he comes and accesses these crates, if that guy comes and accesses these crates, then he'll just get to his inventory screen, so he can change his clothes there too. This tankard lets you fill up your grog cup. I will let you figure out what grog does yourself. It's quite the experience, and you definitely don't want to be in a fight when you're on grog. Now we got bells. You can just hit them. There you go, that's the fucking bell. There you go, that's the bell. That's what it does. And the lanterns. You can toggle the lanterns on and off. It makes you easier or harder to see from a distance. So it's your choice if you want to be visible or not. I would normally suggest turning them off, because it does make you stand out like a sore thumb. Makes you really easy to find, but it becomes a little harder to see on your ship when they are all off and it's nighttime. Now, we're going to get to the meat and potatoes, which is going to be charting a course and sailing the ship. So, I've already got a bunch of missions, and I believe I have all treasure hunter missions, so we'll do the treasure hunter mission first. Pick one of the voyages you just got when you're in the outpost, and then you have to vote on it. So if we had a couple of teammates and we're all deciding what to do, everybody can propose a different voyage, then everybody comes up and votes. Since I'm by myself, as soon as I vote on it, I just get it. Bam. There it is. My mission has been selected. And at the bottom it'll say everybody who's doing it. And now when we pull this up, so that was the second wheel. So this is Q, this is E. We can actually look at these pieces of paper. Now, I've got 2 missions. Sometimes the maps will be X marks the spot. Other times, they're going to be actual riddles. So these are riddles. There's something on Sailor's Bounty unseen. It's in a chest and it has a sheen. So Sailor's Bounty is the actual place I need to go to. So I go to my map and we find Sailor's Bounty, which is right up here. Now, I want to mark the second one just in case it's closer. Long ago, a hoard was left on Smuggler's Bay safe from theft. So if we go to Smuggler's Bay, which is just to our north. Now I've got a charted course, and I've got a good idea of where I want to go. When I get there, it'll start giving me the extra blurred out clues, and I'll be able to get going. Now let's get the boat moving. Now you're going to think, steer the boat, rev the boat, make its engine go. Where do I put the fucking... Where do I put the gasoline in this? Well, you're not going to. There isn't any. It's a sailboat. It's got air and wind and shit. First things first, how to make the sail move, which is kind of important. This is how you lower the sail and raise the sail. The lower it is, the faster you'll go. The higher it is, the slower you'll go. If it's all the way up, you won't go anywhere. You just kind of drift around and can pivot on the spot. Over here, we've got the actual sail's angle, so you can turn it left and right. Now, you see that flag at the very top in the crow's nest. That tells you which direction the wind is going. You can also watch these little wispy air things go past, which are going to show us which direction the wind is going. And if you want to go faster, turn it more, have the wind going straight into the sails. And if you want to go slower, turn your sails out of the wind. Then we've got the anchor. Your boat will never move if your anchor is lowered. To raise the anchor, you can have up to as many people as there are these posts help raise it. You activate it, and you have to push it one 360-degree turn. Boom. Now our anchor's up. You can see our compass. It is telling us which direction we're facing. We're going north. And pro tip, if you come back here, you can actually see your map from up here. So we're facing one of the islands we want to go to. So I don't need to adjust the sails. I don't need to turn the boat. Right now, if I wanted to, I could just slowly drift the boat sideways, one way or another. When you're going nice and slow like this, you also won't be able to damage your boat if you hit a sandbar or anything like that. So, as you can see, if we go due north, there is something in front of us that you can't see. It's a sandbar. If you hit these, your boat gets holes, so go around them. Typically, you can tell how close you're getting to land based on the seaweed. So keep an eye on the seaweed when you're getting close and you're by yourself, or if you're just not 100% sure. So, see, we're still not going anywhere. Now we'll lower the sails, and check this out. Oh my gosh. It works! It's beautiful. Now, if I wanted to go slower, I could not only turn the sail out of the wind, I could also raise the sail a bit, just to cause us to creep along. And remember, the slower your boat is going, the sharper it turns. The faster your boat is going, the slower it turns. It's just that easy. So we'll turn it back into the wind, and I'm going to drop the sail the rest of the way, because I want to haul ass, because that is the island that we're going to. And now while we're in transit, I want to keep an eye out from the crow's nest for any possible enemies that might come and stop me. Well, there's that guy at the port, but he seems like a peaceful lad, so I'll let him be. Got that island. Rocks are just as likely to sink your ship as enemy ships. Trust me, it's just how it is. So now we're starting to get closer and closer to the island. You'll realize that those waves have turned me slightly off course. The bigger the waves, the harder they turn your boat. These are nice little waves, they're just barely turning my boat. And this gold little, very important note, this gold handle is the middle. The boat can do one full turn left, so it now stops in the middle, and it can do one full turn right, will bring us back to going straight, and one full turn right will have us going as hard as we can going right. and realize every time that one gold peg is in the top middle. So if you want to set your ship to go straight, keep an eye on that. I want my ship to slow down because I don't want to hit any sandbars, especially since I'm by myself. I don't want to get extra holes in my ship. So I'm raising the sail significantly to slow my movement and make it so I can turn a lot sharper. If those sails were down, there would be no hope of us making this turn. We'd be going too fast, and we would end up hitting these rocks. But since we're going nice and slow because I raised the sail to half mast, that's bringing the main sail to half mast, we can make our little turn, and I get to put my boat where I want to. Which, if we look at the map, I'll let you guys know, I'm going to actually put the boat into this little cove. Because if it's in the cove, it's going to be really quick and really easy for me to get all over the island. Now take note, the ship's going nice and slow, so it's really easy to maneuver. If I suddenly wanted to get a big burst of speed, all I'd need to do is lower that sail. And believe it or not, you can get a galleon in here. I've done it. It's a little sketchy, but it can be done. You'd be amazed where you can get these boats. So now we're getting really close to where we want to stop. And we want to drop the anchor. Make sure that the steering wheel is straight, or else when you drop the anchor, the boat is going to do a really hard turn. I held it for a second. You have to wait for it to go all the way down. And since the rudder was straight and the wheel was straight, the boat just lurches straight forward and comes back. If it was turned in any direction, the boat will actually swivel that way. Now, I always suggest once you stop the boat, raise the sails. Just in case you have to rush and get back to your boat, have them all the way up instead of down. Because you're going to want to raise the anchor first, and if your sails are already down, you're going to end up smashing into stuff, and if somebody else is attacking you, it's going to be bad. Now, there's 3 ways to leave your boat. 2 of them are far more fun than the original one. The main one is, just go. Run. Your guy can sprint while he swims. So he can swim quicker or slower. But there can be sharks and other bad things in the water. Mostly sharks and other players. And boom! We're on shore. See, there's a freaking shark. I told you. Freaking told you. Now don't be too afraid of the sharks. They only take a couple of hits from your average gun. And you can shoot them from below water. And your guy can also reload a flintlock pistol below water somehow. Just shoot it a couple times and they, oh crap. Yeah, that's not good. Skeletons typically aren't your friends either. And if you do enough damage to them, they will turn to run away and make them pay for the cowardice. Oh, he's tough. Get back here. My goodness. He is determined as a bastard. Now, because I'm out of ammo from leaving my ship, I'm just going to go back to this crate here, pull out a banana. And you can just click there and boom, all your ammo's back. The second way to leave your ship is far more fun. Is you grab the cutlass, get to a point that you won't be stopped, point towards land, and hold it for a power attack. And that will send you lunging towards the beach. That was way the hell faster. That was way, way, way faster. Now, to go back, you just got to make sure your feet are in the water. Whoop. But you're not actually swimming yet. So your feet are in the water, but you're not swimming. And then do a power attack facing your boat. And you'll go back real quick. It means that you can go farther distances. The boat doesn't need to be right by the shore. And there's fast ways back and forth. Unfortunately, you can't do that if you're carrying any treasure. Now the third way is the most fun way. Instead of firing a cannon at the shore, aim the cannon, climb inside the cannon, and fire. And you can get all over the place like that. Alright, now let's do the mission here. Chickens! If I had chicken cages, I could catch the chickens. That's a lot of chickens. Don't worry about the chickens. If you kill them or not, it doesn't do anything. You can just catch them if you need them. So let's do the mission that I got. I'm going to pull out my map, and it's as it says, at the Hermit's Campfire to the northeast, something is hidden here. Read me and it shall appear. So I'm going to pull out my compass, and that's going to tell me where northeast is. I already kind of knew, so I was going this direction. So I'm just going to follow its advice and go northeast. And look for a hermit's cave. Watch the snakes. They're really tough. They won't come after you, but they will attack you if you get close to them. And if you want to be their friend just because you want to, or you don't want them to attack you, they like music. See, now he's my friend. Now I'm going to stop playing music. We can be friends, right? I think that's cool. Unfortunately, they're really fickle fans. They don't remember the music for very long. And then he gets mad again. And he's going to bite me. Eventually. Hey, never mind. We cool. We cool. We bros. Ow, never mind. We're not bros. We can never go back. Oh, crap. And as you can see, the big problem with getting bit by the snakes is that you can't see anything. It's really hard to pick stuff up. Oh, shit. I couldn't even see that skeleton. Now, he also has a gun. They have really good aim. And there we go. My health is now down. Now I have a use for the bananas. I'm going to eat 2 of them. Pull back out my compass and look for this Hermit's cave. There we go. Perfect. Is this in the northeast? Northeast end of the island. Well enough. Seems like the cave. And then the instructions. There's an ammo crate in here so I can refill on ammo. And the instructions said to read the map here. So I pull the map back out and hold it up to read it. Ooh. Mission accomplished. And now it's going to give me my next clue. At the Drunken Sailor at the Northwest Cliffside Camp, a tale once was told. Lift ye flame in search of gold. Northwest Cliffside Camp. Alright. Yeah. Oh, you hear the music. Lantern glows green. And the last clue is coming up. Find the Parrot Keeper's final resting place to the west. This riddle bewitches. 7 paces northeast will your shovel strike box of riches. Beautiful. So, to the west. Ooh, now this is a good find. This is an explosive gunpowder barrel. You can use them to blow up enemy ships, and you can also sell them for gold. So make sure you pick them up. They'll just be scattered around places, and you got to be very careful that they don't blow up your ship, or else you're going to have a bad time. It seems like a long shot. I don't see anything that relates to parrots, but we'll give it a shot. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thing is it is a grave. Nope. Finally! I've been searching around forever now. Alright guys, so I searched all over the place and now I found this. And my instructions were, find the Parrot Keeper's final resting place. Now that looks like parrot feathers. And that looks like a grave to me. And I need to go 7 paces northeast. So if I hold up my compass to my face, while I'm facing that direction, I might have to be a little bit further out, you can actually count your paces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I should be able to... Boom. There it is. Now, normally when you expose a treasure chest, the undead will come and kind of try to stop you. So just prepare yourself for a little bit of a fight. And there it is. You just keep digging it up and digging it up until it pops up. And boom. That's what I came here for. Now, as you can see, since I have the chest and I'm going back to the ship, there's no fast way to do it. You just have to haul it slow and steady and hope that a shark doesn't eat you. And that's why it's normally considered really advantageous to have your ship be a lot closer to the land. So I'm actually going to adjust that right now. Once you got your treasure on your ship, stow it away somewhere that you don't think someone will steal it. Right now that is a horrible position, but I'm going to be changing that. And I'm going to move the boat a little bit closer because I have 2 gunpowder kegs on the island that I also want to bring to my boat. So, see how the sail was up, so we're not going to move. I'm just going to drop it a little bit to kind of bring us in a little bit closer. And I'm also going to try to drop the anchor and turn the boat so that its broadside is facing the shore. See, I'm turning now. Now if I drop the anchor, now when the anchor lands, you'll realize that it's going to finish turning because the rudder wasn't straight. But I did get the landing that I wanted to. Raise my sails. And I'm going to finish going back to shore to get my explosive crates. And now I don't have to swim near as far. Now, I strongly advise to stop your explosive powder kegs from hurting you. Put them in the crow's nest. Because the explosion radius isn't big enough to damage your ship from up here, then your mast is indestructible. So it won't take any damage from the exploding powder keg. And also, if you want to make it very difficult for people to sneak aboard your ship and steal from you, put all your treasure up by it as well. Then if somebody does sneak up there, shoot your explosive powder kegs and blow them to pieces. Now, unfortunately, since I pulled in here, I'm going to have to pull out of here because I'm in a big circle. And this is where it is a really big bonus that I already had the sails raised, because all I need to do now is raise the anchor. Now, my wheel was already turned all the way to the left, so now it's just going to slowly drift. And this is called drifting. It's pretty simple. I'm going to turn it straight as soon as our heading is correct. So the boat's almost facing the direction that I want it to go. It's really close. I'm going to come over here and set my sail to be able to catch the most wind as soon as I drop the sail. By putting it in line with that flag up there. So the wind's blowing that way. I've turned the sail now so it'll catch maximum wind. Now when I drop the sail, it's going to fill up. And our boat is going to go straight. Voila! Well, a skeleton spawned on that island. While I was leaving, grabbed a cannon, and is now trying to blow me to pieces. Take note, those skeletons are incredibly masterful shots. And I'm going to have to go below deck now to see if he put a hole low enough that I'm actually going to keep taking damage and keep sinking. But if you're by yourself, first things first, make sure your boat's not going to hit anything. Alright, so let's go take a look. See, where did he hit me? So he hit me right there. I'm slowly leaking into my boat thanks to him. You're going to see water's filling up on the lowest end. Pull out one of your boards and just hold your cursor until it finishes repairing. And boom. No more water. Unfortunately, I still have to deal with this water. Grab your bucket and bail it out. Make sure you throw it over the side of the ship. Because watch, I'm going to throw it right here. And it fills back up into the bottom. But if I throw it over the side, nothing. We're good. Nice and clear. Now, I'm getting nice and close to the island. I want to slow down by raising my mast to half. I didn't do it in time. So we're going to hit land. Oof. That is not good for your boat. But that's alright. I wanted to show you what happens when you do hit land. Unlike last time when I could turn well enough, this time I cannot. I'm going to make sure I'm off the sandbar, drop my anchor, and go check the damage. And we're filling up pretty quick. We got 2 holes instead of 1 from that cannonball hit. So as you can see, hitting land is a lot worse. It's just going to keep filling up again and again and again. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a head start before I start boarding. There we go. Now with both the holes boarded up, we're not filling up, I can finish bailing the water out. You need help. A clue I'll grant thee. Seek the anchor resting on the ship's remains to the far northeast, and solve the shanty. Solve with shanty. Yar! I like it. Alright. Now that we found the anchor we're at it, we need to solve with Shanty. So, it must want us to play a tune. There it is. Now I get my next clue. At the lone tall palm to the west, the treasure close at hand. 6 paces northeast, dig up the land. So at the lone tall palm to the west. Alright, I still think it's here. There it is. It was just a little bit further up. Make sure my sail's up. Raise the anchor! Shit, an enemy boat. This could be bad. He could be on his way over to my ship. I just want to let him know I'm not messing around. Get away from me. Alright, so I got a couple of good hits. I highly doubt he's going to sink from that. He might sink if he hits land, though. As you can see, he's now concerned with repairing a ship. I might be able to take him out. So I'm raising my sail so that I can turn. So I'm going to go for another pass on him. This is a great opportunity to show combat. There's only one of me and there could be 2 of them. I'm going to lower my sail just a bit to give me some speed. Control and speed are what it's all about. Need to make sure, since I used a bunch of cannonballs, I used 8. I've got a refill on them. I'm by myself, so I want to make sure that I set my heading, and I got my speed and everything already adjusted, so that I can focus on firing the cannon again. I know he only has 15 boards, so if I hit him, he starts with 15 boards. Oh my goodness! He did not repair his boat in time. I was not expecting it to be that easy. Well, apparently he did not have a clue what he was doing and should have watched this tutorial. Now if I stop my ship, which I'm going to, I can now kind of hang out with him and fight him for a little bit. There's not the biggest reason in the world to do that unless he has treasure. As you can see his name underwater. He can also shoot back. So you can just pot shot at him a bit. And when a player dies, they create a crazy green glow. And since he's down and his ship is gone, the siren has appeared and he can go to it and teleport back to his base. Back to a new... Sorry, not his base. He can now go there and teleport back to a new ship. I want to see what's going to end up happening is if he had any treasure, it's going to float to the top ever so slowly. And I'm just going to try to stand back here, keep my eyes open for if he's going to come back at me or if he had any treasure that's going to float up. Now, albeit he didn't attack me, I just attacked him. And he didn't appear to have much of a desire to fight me. 5 hits was enough to take him down, but it also wasn't necessary. He didn't have any loot. I didn't get any treasure. He's just going to have to sail back here. No harm, no foul, but it was a good example of how to control the ship in a ship fight. You can't just leave the sail all the way down, as you need to manage things. You need to keep your speed managed. Ooh, shipwreck spotted. Shipwrecks are awesome. They're free loot. You just have to sail over to them, swim underneath, into the death trap, and pull out the cash. Yeah, perfectly free. Ooh. Well, I want to make sure we're straight. Very good. So that's pretty close. I'm not worried about the sail. I'm in the middle of nowhere. The only thing that I can hit is behind me, so I'm not too worried about it. Make sure you have ammo, because sharks hang around sunk ships. And it's very unlikely you'll be able to get in and get out without seeing at least one shark. Now watch your oxygen. You can drown fairly easily. But if the boat's high enough, some of the shipwrecks are actually really low underwater. You can also find supplies, bananas, cannonballs, wood planks inside them. Oh, perfect. You can see what sunk it. This is a skull. These are the ones that you get for hunting the skeletons. These are worth cash monies. Now things do just float by themselves if you release them while you're in the water. Which is kind of weird because you'd think a really heavy treasure chest would go down. You also can't sprint swim when you got the skull. And this is how the sharks get you. As you go, you get the treasure and you're like, oh, thank goodness I got my treasure. Then they swim up underneath you and grab you. So back to my boat. Oh, that is not my boat. That is a cloud. Now, if I wanted to, I could refill on cannonballs and bananas and things, but I'm not too worried about it right now. Alright, so I still do have missions to do, but I've decided to come into the outpost and sell what I already got, just in case something goes downhill. Now I want to make sure I pull up to the port that has the merchant dealer at it. You can tell there's a bunch of different docks, but only some of them, only one of them is actually going to have the merchant dealer. That's the one you want to come up to. Realize I raised the sail to half mast, so I have better control of my ship. And now I'm just going to try to pull in as close as I can here. I'm going to raise it the rest of the way, so I'm going nice and slow. There we go. And I'm going to drop the anchor right now. Make sure that it's straight. And I'm pretty close to the dock. Could be better, could be worse. If I had a teammate, they can stay on the anchor, and that's a little helpful. But nonetheless, I'm here, and there's no reverse on a boat. So each individual piece of treasure needs to be brought in by hand. And depending on what it is, it has to go to a different person. Now I advise when you have it on the mast, don't climb up and down and up and down and up and down. If you stand near the edge, well enough, you can actually drop them to the bottom. See, now the chest and the skull are down there. And I can save myself a lot of time climbing. Because if anybody catches me while I'm in port here, they can steal all of my goodies, sink my ship, and take me out, and I'd be really, really upset at that. Because this is me booty, not yours. Alright, there we go. Explosive gunpowder kegs. Remember, they sell for money. Let alone are they weapons, they're also cash. Go to the merchant dealer right here. Barrel of gunpowder. 170 gold. It's a good amount of gold. That ain't bad. Considering it's free, all I need to do is pick it up. The next one's going to go for 124, so that one was worth a little bit less. There actually isn't a difference in them. Everything just goes for different amounts. Oop, didn't quite make it. Now the treasure chests go to the treasure merchant. The treasure hunter man who's in the shady tent on the shady beach surrounded by shady people. So right in here. And now you can sell to him. They will not buy each other's items. It's only 116 for that. Lady here. And that skull sells for 236. So that was the best thing that I got, and I got it out of the ship. Which is pretty sweet. Now, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to finish up these missions myself, and I'm going to keep on pirating around, killing the undead, and raiding merchants. I just heard a cannonball fire not too far off into the distance. Guys, this is where I'm going to end the video. From here, you guys now know how to sail your ship, get missions, and adventure around islands, plot a course, adjust your sails, and so many more things. If you watched the whole thing, thank you for checking it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm going to be ending off this video by hunting down this ship that I see over here. Unfortunately, I don't know if it was the guy that I blew up last time, but it's still going to be a lot of fun. Wish me luck. There it is, guys. Till next time. Peace.